How's it going, my beautiful people? Damocles here, and if you are wondering which battle item you should be taking into Pokemon Unite, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm breaking down my Pokemon Unite battle items tier list so that you know what you should be running in every single match. As always, like, comment, subscribe. You guys have been great with that so far. 20k subs, giving away a $20 eShop gift card. But without further ado, let's just hop into the tier list, shall we? Just like I did in my last tier list video for the held items, let me just break down the actual tiers themselves. So we've got should be taken in 99% of games. We've got maybe if you're really good, you can use this item. These items, you think it's better than it actually is. There's a lot of those. Bad, but potentially cheesy. You can get away with some cheesy stuff. And then holding balloons screaming, I'm new, because that's all it is. It's just you're holding balloons screaming you're new if you're taking this item. So that's the criteria. If you, as always, if you disagree with me on anything, just drop it in the comments and we can have a discussion about it. Be civil. Okay, so starting it off, let's go with X Speed. So X Speed, putting that one's the first one in. You think it's better than it is. X Speed is basically only taken if you haven't unlocked Eject Button yet. It is not that good of an item. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's worse than Eject Button in every single way. It gives you a movement speed boost. But other than that, it's pretty much worthless, and you really should not be taking it. Anybody who comments below and says, oh, I take it to speed up X, Y, and Z, it's like you could do the same thing with Eject Button, but better. And you can use Eject Button to dodge attacks, do a bunch of other stuff. Just don't take this item. It's not a good item. It's a noob trap. And you probably think it's better than it actually is. It's just not. It's not like Ghost in League of Legends where like you get like you can pass through units and stuff like that. It's just a little speed boost and it's not worth taking. So don't take it. Okay. What else we got here? What else we got here? Goal Getter. I'll put that in. You think it's better than it actually is. It's not that great. It's useless in 99.9999% of the cases. And it's useless in 99.99% of matches. Like literally, like maybe it's good. Okay, let me put it this way. Early on in the game, absolutely worthless. You really won't see any difference in your goal scoring times. And then later on in the game, it could possibly be used if you are, in high-rated matches where it's really hard to go and score on those inner goals, especially if you have like 50, like maybe earlier in the ranks, or in standard matches, like people let you get away with stuff like just scoring a raw 50 and just letting you sit there for 15 minutes and score, but that doesn't happen in basically anywhere else. And maybe Goal Getter will get you that score. Maybe it'll speed up the time just a little bit, but other than that, it's useless in combat, it's useless for escapes, it's useless even for scoring up for like literally 8 minutes out of a 10-minute game, and then most of the time, you're just going to go and get Zapdos and get instant scores anyway. So, like, don't take this item, guys. You think it's probably better than it actually is, and it's just not. You're much better off, like, going and just having your team stack in a specific goal so that you can score faster, or just, playing the game as it should be and, like, trying to get Zap or trying to prevent people from getting Zapdos. Regardless, don't use Goal Getter. It is not a good item at all. What do we got here? Okay, Fluffy Tail. Fluffy Tail is bad but cheesy. A lot of people, I think, look at this item and think, oh, it's the jungler item for this game, because like in every single MOBA, there's a jungle item. In Smite, you have Hand of the Gods. In League of Legends, you have Smite. And it's used for like securing objectives or speeding up your jungle clear. But that's not how Fluffy Tail functions in this game. It's just a much worse version of a jungle item, and it's basically not useful in the slightest bit. There are some cheesy situations, like if you're running pre-nerf Charizard with like Unite moves and stuff like that, where you could pop Fluffy Tail on something and like nuke down like Zapdos to like 75, like literally cut out 75% of its HP in one Unite move. But since Charizard got a little muscle band nerf, that's no longer possible, and it's just not useful in 99% of cases. A lot of people are thinking like, oh, it speeds up my jungle clears Ghastly by like 0.1 seconds. It's not significant. Listen, I love the jungle. Not significant enough to use your one battle item on Fluffy Tail to make it so you can kill Ludicolo 5 seconds faster. It's just not worth it. You can use it in maybe coordinated team play if you toss it on like an Eldegoss who doesn't really need the combat benefits of other items, just so that like maybe you can go and if you wipe the enemy team but their death timers are still low, maybe you can nuke down a Zapdos a little bit faster. But it's just even then, it's not worth it. It's not worth using. It's just a bad item. It would be 100% different scenario if it worked like Smite, which for those of you that haven't played League of Legends, Smite basically, it just deals like a large amount of burst damage to a jungle minion, and that scales up throughout the course of a game, so that like the jungler is the one who can decide who gets the last hit on Zapdos. Does that make sense? So like you would go and you'd have a team fight at Zapdos, and then it would basically be up to the junglers to battle it out with their smites to see who can get that final hit. But it doesn't work like that in Unite. In Unite, it just puts a little debuff on the target that increases its damage taken, and that means it increases its damage taken by either team. It just speeds up the damage done, and in a lot of cases, it can just screw you over. You can go and use Fluffy Tail and nobody hits it, or you use Fluffy Tail and the enemy team hits it. I mean, it's just not a good item. I would not suggest using it unless you're talking about like specific, really niche scenarios, and even then I would not take it. It's just not that good, and it could honestly probably go in the you think it's better than it is field, but it's worse because it really doesn't do anything like combat-wise. It doesn't help you with your scoring. It literally just helps speed up some jungle monster clears, and it's not in a significant enough way that it's worth sacrificing other items for. I'm sorry. I know you guys love Fluffy Tail, or a lot of people like running Fluffy Tail, but it's not worth it. And most of the people that run it are not running it in the way I'm talking about regardless. So just don't do it. Okay, full heal. Maybe if you're really good, or if like you're absolutely the world's best player, period, and your only Achilles heel is that you immediately die if Gengar is on the battlefield. In most scenarios, you will not be taking this item, but it acts as cleanse or purification beads from other MOBAs, and it rids you of hindrances, it rids you of status effects, and I believe it prevents their application for a short period of time afterwards. So if you are just like a god tier Cinderace, and for some reason you're not running Eject Button, you could possibly run full heal to prevent yourself from getting like Slowbroed or whatever. But I don't think it applies to Slowbro's Unite move. I could be wrong on that. I should do some testing on that. But it has a place. It's like a good item if Eject Button didn't exist. Okay, really you shouldn't be running this because in 99% of scenarios you should be running Eject Button. Just flat out run Eject Button, guys, please. I could make 3 more tiers just saying run Eject Button, run Eject Button, run Eject Button. It is like Flash from League of Legends. It gives you disengage, it gives you engage, it allows you to dodge skills. It's just the best item in basically every single conceivable situation, and there is no reason why you should not be running Eject Button in like basically every situation. It is just too good to not have. And for those of you that haven't played MOBAs before, this is basically just like a 100% mandatory item. If it exists in another MOBA, it is just too good. The mobility is too good. The speed at which you can activate that mobility is too good. It is just flat out an amazing item. You can do some like different techs with various abilities to extend their range as well. You can hop over walls. You can just do everything with this item, and you should run this all the time. Okay, that's what it is. You should run this item all the time. You do not, like, if you're going into games, right? Say you're at Ultra and everybody on your team is running Eject Button and you are running X Speed and you have Eject Button unlocked. You should be thinking in your head, why is everybody running Eject Button instead of X Speed? It's because Eject Button is just better in general. It's just better. Full heal, you see it occasionally, but really, you're not going to be running that. Like, the other tiers, it's basically like you run Eject Button in literally 99.99% of the game, and then maybe in 0.0001% of the games you run a full heal for whatever reason, and then the other ones are like 0.000001% of situations, like basically never. Okay, so run Eject Button, guys. I can't state this enough. Run Eject Button, please. I beg you, run Eject Button. Okay. What else we got here? Let's do Potion. Holding balloons, screaming I'm new. That's all Potion does, guys. That's literally all it does. If you are using it to sustain yourself in lane, you should be using another item because that's just a crutch. It's not helping you out in combat in any significant way, and it's just not a good item. It's just never a good item. Do not pick it. Do not take it. Unless you are a brand new player and you literally have nothing else, you should not be taking Potion in any scenario. I don't know about anybody else, but if I see a Potion on the enemy team, I immediately think, all right, focus that person because they're brand new and they might not know how to play the game. Just being totally honest, it's not good. You might think, oh, take it on a tank. No, don't. You have berries on the map. You have passive HP regen on top of your goals, and you have a myriad of other items that provide you with defensive and offensive capabilities that you could use to win trades long before you use a potion to save your life. It's just not a good item. It's a crutch. Do not rely on potions ever. It's just not a good idea, guys. I'm begging you, do not run potion. It's just not a good item ever. It's not a good item. It's literally, you're begging the enemy team to focus you because it's that obvious of a bad item. And I could understand how people who are new to MOBAs might think, oh, it's healing me on like a, what's the cooldown? Hold on one sec. Cooldown is on a 30-second cooldown. It's healing you a little bit. Not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just never worth it in any MOBA. Do not take potion. I'm begging you. If you go and you stop taking potion and all of a sudden you're getting beat up in lane, like you got to learn how to use your sustain better. You got to learn how to trade better. Learn how to use your berries in lane better, like to sustain yourself. Like you got to just practice and do not get hooked on using potion because it's not a good item at all. And as soon as you can get off of using potion, get off of it because it's just not good. What else we got here? We got X Attack. X Attack, I'm sure I'll get some comments about X Attack. It increases your attack damage. I mean, it just increases your damage. And it's just not worth taking, guys. It's not worth it. I know you think, oh, it's going to allow me to win certain trades and stuff. But those trades are just, I'll say, I guess they're just not worth winning if you have to take X Attack. It's just one of those items that is just not worth using. Yes, you deal a little bit increased damage for a short period of time, but there is no defensive benefit to it. You have no escape options. Like if you were running Eject Button, you are just using X Attack to try and win like a small trade. And so maybe if you're, I don't even want to give an example of when you should use this because you really just should not be using this. It's like, maybe if you're in standard games, you want to cheese like some kind of burst build, but in most scenarios, you should never be running this item. You think it's probably better than it actually is. I think it's like something like a 15% damage boost to 20% damage boost for a short period of time. I think. It might be less. But just don't run it, guys. Don't run it. It's not like running Energy Amplifier, where like you're getting a bunch of additional benefits. Remember, you have one item in these games. You have one battle item. Use the one that is the most useful at all points in the game, and that is Eject Button. Don't run X Attack, but because it increases your damage and it has some kind of positive benefit to you, I'm going to put it at the front of you think it's better than it is, just for that reason. But really, please don't use this. Please don't use this. The Smoke Bomb. Don't use this ever, guys. It's just not worth it. You might be thinking, oh, I'm playing a defender. Like, I can keep people, like, near me for more often. It's like, or people could just Eject Button out. Or you could just engage better with an Eject Button. Like, or if you're like, oh, I'm running away from people. Like, I can use it to slow people down. Or just use Eject Button to run away. You see what I'm saying? Like, not a good item. I've seen some people recommend using this with like Venusaur and stuff to keep people in Petal Dance, but there's just so many things wrong in that sentence. I don't even want to start on it. Like, just don't use it. Don't use it, guys. It's not good. It slows down enemies around you, which would be great if there was like some kind of an item shop system in this game and you could slow enemies with like a purchased item. But the fact that you're sacrificing the usage of Eject Button for something that's just gonna slow people in like a minute amount of circumstances, and everybody at the highest level is running Eject Button, it's just like, don't use it. Just don't. Okay? Do me a solid. So that is the tier list. How long are we going on here? I don't want to drone on for too long. 15 minutes, pretty short. But this is my tier list, guys. In most scenarios, in conclusion, in summary, run Eject Button. I'm begging you, run Eject Button. Maybe in 0.00001% of chances or circumstances, you could take a full heal if you're just getting eviscerated by Gengars and you need a break for a day. But otherwise, you're really going to want to be running Eject Button at all times. You think it better than it is tier. X attack is, it might allow you to win a trade and deal a little bit increased damage, but you're going to lose out on a lot more not having the built-in engage and disengage that Eject Button provides. That's what you need to think about. Like, go and I'm sure people who have experimented with some of these other items can like understand. Like when I was playing with Fluffy Tail Charizard and just trying some cheese for a little bit, like there are some situations where you're just like, dang, like if I just had Eject Button, this would be a secured kill. And that's what happens in every single game that you're not running Eject Button. Is like you're just thinking, oh man, I could have had a secured kill here, or secured KO, excuse me, or I could have escaped this KO of myself if I was just running Eject Button. That's what you're going to be thinking at all times if you're not running Eject Button, because it's just that useful of an item. And so like any trade that maybe you win a trade with X attack, but if the person has Eject Button and can just pop away from you, and then it doesn't matter, it nullifies that trade. You know what I mean? X speed is just worse than Eject Button. Goal Getter, useless for basically an entire match, and then it's probably still worthless at the end of a match because you're either getting Zapdos or protecting from Zapdos. So don't use that either. Smoke Bomb, worthless. Fluffy Tail, don't use it. Potion, please don't hold balloons saying that you're a new player, because I'm telling you, if you feel like you're getting targeted in games and you're running Potion, it's because you're running Potion. It's like you're wearing a sign that says like, I'm brand new, like come camp me. But that's it for me, guys. That is the entire tier list. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I think some of you were requesting some more build videos, so I'm working on that. And some of you were also requesting videos about which items to specifically run on different Pokemon. And so I'm going to work on a video for that as well. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Remember, please like, comment, subscribe if this video helped you out in any way, and drop a comment and discuss with me if you have any kind of disagreements. I'm more than welcome to discuss if you're not being a silly goose. And that's going to be it. Peace out, guys. Damocles out. Wow, I said that like 7 times. Good job, AD.